Hello, and welcome to Oracle Storytelling. My name is Sarah Wing. I am an artist. You can find my work at sarahwingintuitivearts.com. You can find me on Instagram, on YouTube, talking about my art, but also doing these Oracle storytelling videos, which usually consist of myself intuitively reading different cards and storytelling through a theme, or sometimes I do different piles to journey through of cards. But today, as I start this video, I can hear the rain falling above me, and I'm currently in a heat wave, and every day it's been saying it's going to rain, and again, as I start recording, the rain is falling. And a lot of times I've felt like rain is something that brings relief, whether it be from heat or like a general clearing. Sometimes I feel like it just comes in, especially a big downpour, and there's just this sense of like a clearing of the air in every possible way. So I like that it's raining over me right now. And tomorrow we have the solstice. So for myself, it's summer solstice. Depending on where you are, it may be winter solstice. But there's a lot of sacred energy going on right now, sacred journeying going on right now. I decided to grab my opalite Ganesh. And if you're familiar with Ganesh, there's a lot of beautiful things that this deity is known for, most notably clearing of obstacles. I know that he appeared in my life at a time unknowingly before I knew who he was, and he helped me through some very challenging obstacles. And a lot of times that's how different deities appear to me, to help me through challenging times or very deep journeying times. And maybe the same has happened to you. Ooh, it's getting blustery out there. But yeah, I just felt important. So maybe if, like me, you're doing some deep journeying, you're feeling the need or the instinct to bring more nourishment to your life through external changes, but also internally. And maybe you're feeling a sense of something internal calling you to encourage you to be aiding yourself and nourishing the wellness within, emotionally, physically, spiritually, mentally. Maybe something's calling within you that feels unfamiliar. Maybe it's something like stillness. Maybe, or something that is something a bit in opposition to kind of how you've been operating and motivating yourself in life. Anyhow, so yes, feeling the sacred journey. I'm just feeling, I'm feeling the energy of the sacred journey myself, but also I feel like it's just so embedded and imprinted upon us right now. And, you know, I said I was in a heat wave, and part of this heat wave is it's this changing climate, all the climate change that's going on. And as scary as it can be, it's also this constant invitation handed off to us that is asking us to make some big internal changes. And not only that, but externally looking at what are our goals and considering the literal world, our environment we're in, and how do those influence and shape our goals? Are some of our goals, do they need to be realigned? Are some things, do we need to be resourceful and a little more inventive and creative? Whew, sorry, it is dark and crazy stormy all of a sudden. So, besides Ganesha, I mean, I'm drawing in a lot of sunlight here. I'm wearing my gold, I'm wearing my pearl, because I'm wearing my gold, I'm wearing my pearl because we are approaching the summer solstice for myself. We're approaching Cancer season, meaning astrologically, sun sign Cancer, which I am, and pearl is birthstone for Cancer. And then this beautiful honey-colored, golden, greeny honey-colored amber. This is also a little ball of amber. This is also some amber. And then speaking of heat, this is some flint. And this is a little bit of obsidian. And I'm not sure why I brought that in, but maybe some of you are really drawn towards obsidian as a darker stone, a protective stone. So, yeah, so there's just a lot of deep journeying going on. And I know I have a lot of transitions in my life, maybe like you, that are coming to a cycle of completion. After moving across the country, a lot of start points, birth points, birthing of new things that we're all sensing. And everything's in a cycle, so it could be a cycle of erosion and renewal. So maybe some things are kind of eroding around you. And maybe you're kicking and screaming, or maybe you're cheering with delight. Maybe you're active in it, maybe you're passive in it. But whatever method you're going, maybe you see the tides turning. And it's an exciting thing. It's a positive thing. Because no matter how you're interacting with changes that you feel coming or that are already coming in waves, you're exactly where you need to be, because that's where you are. And just know you don't have to worry about choosing. If you're uncomfortable in this moment where you are, know that, one, you're not alone. There's so many people uncomfortable in the moment where they are. But just know it's okay. It's exactly where you need to be. And you can choose to be somewhere else next. But in this exact moment, I just want to offer this up just to whoever needs this. You don't need to choose and calculate a plan in this exact moment to change everything in this moment. You don't have to feel a pressure to make all these changes in the exact moment, you know. Okay, so I was shuffling this one deck, and so it gives us beautiful a stone and a saint, or a deity. And the stone we got was rhodonite, if you're familiar with rhodonite. And it says, do you seek the divine in all your daily interactions? Are you in the process of healing after a loss? Allow your loved one to travel the sacred journey, knowing that in many ways they are always with you. Recognize the divine feminine within you. Be assured that the truth is revealed in the end. So I felt interrupted by this card, and I'm just going to weave this in now. So if you're in your daily interactions, so do you seek the divine in all your daily interactions? Let's translate that into when you were in spaces or around certain people. Do you trust that you're not missing out on some bigger thing, that you're not missing out on the next big highlight of your life or the next big social interaction of your life, just because you maybe aren't thrilled with the exact one you're in. And if you know that, and if you already know that you're not, then let's say you're just in an uncomfortable conversation, or just, there's a certain person you got to deal with and you're just not too thrilled about it. Can you be that divine source? Can you be that divine ear that in those moments when somebody needs to share, can you be open to that? Knowing that a lot of times for more sensitive, empathic people, we are those receivers of so much information. And I'm not saying you have to intake everything that a person or certain people tell you. You don't have to befriend and become everyone's best friend, but can you be that sacred receiver of information in these moments? Knowing that, you are a sacred listener to yourself. And sometimes we, and along our lives, we do find other people who are those sacred people who can receive and listen to us. But so much of our lives are really about listening to others and being those receptive listeners to other people. And can we find that within ourselves, within our hearts for that time? Are you in the process of healing after a loss? Allow your loved one to travel this sacred journey. So for those that are grieving losses, human, animal, whatever it may be, is this a time that, again, it's a sacred internal journey? Are you really are you finding yourself trying to seek solace deeper and deeper within yourself? Do you want to kind of curl up in your own internal cave and nourish yourself and heal yourself? Are you looking for a sense of rebirthing? I'm wearing this little snake ring. Snakes are so interesting. So easy to see this ring. So happy about it. But snakes are interesting. Snakes shed their skin. There's something beautifully shamanic and really internal and magical that happens. It's like the cocoon before the butterfly, the snake shedding its skin. It's like going within itself, right? Only to emerge as itself, yet there's something unmasked, right? There's something that's been shed. There's something that was a layer that we've been wearing, however you want to look at it, like a mask of ego or conditioning, that's kind of like a cloak that's been placed on us that we've just been wearing it. We thought it was, we always had to wear this little cloak, right? Like just in case, right? It might get chilly or scary, or we might, I don't know, a monster might come up. So we got to really, hold on to this. But just things I'm thinking of to just like, just reflect a little more. Wow. So like I said, we've been having these super hot days, 90s, humid, feeling over 100 degrees, very hot. As soon as I started recording, just windy, downpour, rain. Sorry, so a little trying to be mindful of that, wondering if all of a sudden it's going to go dark. And then this beautiful saint we got was Mary Magdalene. I integrate spirituality into my everyday life. I have a connection with the divine. I allow my body, mind, and spirit the time and space to heal following loss. I bless those who have completed their time here and are now on a new journey. So a lot of this is bringing up the transition, sometimes death transition, animals dying, and our grief and how we submerge and then emerge from these depths, navigating these depths and then emerging miraculously. Like we learn to, live underground or breathe underwater. It's like we're learning these tricks we never wanted to learn when we're in grief, right? When we're grieving. And then we reemerge. And I mean, we've grown this second sight, or we've grown, like gills or wings. We can't even, how could we have known, this hero's journey we would have gone through if not for this earthquake, resettling, tectonic shift within our own gravitational field, and knowing of self, especially when people close to us pass. So this sacred journey, which I think it's time to draw less vampires. I don't think I did the French pronunciation, but we're going to do a less vampires card, because as I'm thinking about the summer solstice and June 30th, the best day of the year, according to me, thank you so much. As I'm thinking about this, it does make me think of this bright sun, and it also makes me think of this darkness, just these two things that are both true, the darkness and the light. And it made me want to pull out these beautiful vampire cards by Lucy Cavendish. Whew, this one just fluttered. Ooh, this one did too. I mean, these cannot be more night and day, literally. Oh, this is perfect. So the first one, this is a big struggle. So this is really reflective of a pretty big internal struggle. So we have the nighttime. I mean, this is amazing. It's literally night and day. Because of course it is. Wow. So this is a pretty big internal struggle. What's interesting is I feel like this is I say internal because, okay, we have this, let's say we have this sense of structure and home, okay? So there's this sense of home, structure, safety. Right here, let's say we have safety, affection, the sense of protection here. And then I'm going to say that this is a sense of focus and devotion. Like, I'm going to say that the skill is a devotion. But what I'm sensing from her face here is really, this is really internal. This is an internal struggle. So, and the fact that she has all these other elements, a focused devotion, a sense of safety and home, a sense of protection, allows her, I think, to even brave this internal struggle and journey. Because safety and home and all these things and sense of security they're big themes. They're themes for everyone's life that affect us immensely and are part of our journey throughout our life. But I think in this moment, even though, you think, oh, look, it's this big house and loyal friends and all these beautiful things, you go, I bet she plays this beautifully. But you can see, or at least that's how I'm seeing it, seeing the sense of this real internal struggle. So it's the monster within, internal struggle, personal challenges, wanting to improve. Yeah, so I think there is, definitely the sense of change, like embracing change in the sense of, I want to improve, looking at, let's use wanting to change, like embracing change, wanting to improve, on this very internal, like deep internal level. And it's interesting because I feel like this is her home, but I also feel like this is like she's like on a threshold too, literally and figuratively. Like if I feel like this is like in the threshold of where her home would be, right? And she's standing, she's not opening the door to leave, and she's not climbing the stairs to ascend. It's like taking this moment in between on the threshold to go within knowing that she's safe. She has the safety and security of her home. She has the protection, and she has devotion and focus to attaining this goal of going internally and dealing with the monster within, the conflict, maybe recognizing you can't have A with B. They don't align. I can't say I want this, I can't say I want to make these big changes and then do nothing that aligns with it. Just these kind of conflictive things that we do have to wrestle with, that come up in our lives. Such a trip. This is her last day in the light. Unexpected endings, surprise changes, sudden shifts. Beautiful. So this is very night and day. Literally. Night, day. Like this bright, sunny card. So the idea, of course, the last day in the light would be, this is before like the vampires turned, right? So she can't be in the light anymore. But there is this sense of really relishing in who they are and the things they attract. And this seems like a very confident, I feel like she's very confident, very youthful. So let's say like there's a bit of like the fool energy here, where it's like she's ready for an adventure. Kind of like in that Alice in Wonderland feeling of like, we're really ready for this adventure. Very headstrong, independent, and really there's something in her eyes that really screamed to me like, I'm ready for this adventure. Just like, and so this unexpected ending, surprise changes, sudden shifts. I'm getting that feeling of like the White Rabbit, of like Alice suddenly sees a white rabbit and she chases the rabbit down the rabbit hole. But I feel like she is both Alice and the White Rabbit, and that something's going to catch her eye. And once she pulls that thread, it's just this unwinding, and with a lot of speed. And depending on, again, certain perspectives, like maybe you like to be where the end of that thread pulls you to, but you don't like the first 2 or 3 or 10 stops along the way. Kind of keeping that, understanding that you're in the right place. It might not be like feel the most incredible in that moment, and the perfect people aren't around you in every instance, because you're on a journey. And the only way they can get to the happy places and people and these just maddeningly interesting things is to go through that journey and to try and hold a perspective for yourself that, you are in the right place at the right time. And you do have choice and you do have say, but every single moment, if you try to control it and hold it and wrestle it down, you're going to go mad. She'd become the Mad Hatter, and she'd get locked in a repetitive day of every day's a birthday. Every day has to be my birthday. Every day has to be the best day ever. And if it's not, well, I'm going to sit here like the Mad Hatter and throw myself a happy birthday tea party, or unhappy, whatever, every day. I'm going to throw myself a party every single day and stay at this table because I'm head of the table, versus going on the wild adventure, going on the journey, resting when you need to rest, being confronted when you need to be confronted, integrating when you need to integrate, nourishing when you need to nourish. That's what I'm getting there. And then, speaking of journey, I have the Darkwood Tarot, and it is largely, this just popped up right away. It is largely about a journey. So it's about a sorceress going into the woods and the people she meets along the way. It's like a little storybook. So, speaking of the journey, this very maybe maddening for you, maybe uncomfortable, maybe completely clueless into the unknown journey that I'm on, you're on, we're all collectively on. But if you're watching this, you're probably experiencing it more tangibly, with more focused understanding, awareness, and intention. So let's see. Oh my gosh. So we have the Page of Cups. Look at this little elf baby magic girl here. So speaking of this journey we're on, right? I feel like, oh boy, all right. She left, and this is how she starts her journey. This is kind of either the stopping point you're at now, or if you're at the beginning, you feel like you're at the beginning of a massive journey. If you're not sensing like, anyway, but this is kind of like where I feel we're walking into next. Okay, so this is either going to be the next step at the beginning of a new journey, or it's going to be helping you to integrate this deep reflective part of your journey. And I am going to look this up as quickly as possible. It is really wild to me that it went completely dark on this like 100-degree heat day as soon as I started recording. All right, here's an even bigger picture. Lovely. Page of Cups. So the archetype for the Page of Cups is the intuitive. And if you're watching this, you're a human being, you're intuitive. And if you're watching this, you've probably done work with intuition on some level, whether that's working with your clairs, or just body scanning, working with chakra work, energy work, working with guides, higher self, angels, whatever it may be. So the Page of Water, half human, part animal, and all heart, holds up a golden cup. Love that. Tendrils of mist stream up and out of the cup. A ghost-like fish gazes up at the page. It is as if they were the only two people in the world. This card reflects youthful perception, a child and her imaginary friend. If it is the child's imagination and intuition bringing all of us into what is possible. This is a great perspective to hold in mind that's contrasting when we get bogged down, when we don't want to be where we are, when we think there's like a better place to be or better choices in that moment. That's where we're supposed to be versus where we are right now in our body, period. So having this youthful perception, a child and her imaginary friend, it is in the child's imagination and intuition bringing all of us into what is possible. The things that we can't physically clock around us and catalog, but we have to intuitively know, even if it's an emotional knowing. A lot of times people say, I want these exact things, A, B, C, D, and it looks like this. The truth of what you need to connect to and what's going to be helpful is, say you're making a vision board or a mental vision board of this thing or things you want. Go within, take a few breaths, connect to the emotion you feel when you see these things, when you think about this life or these things in your life. Those emotions, how it makes you feel, keep connecting to that, and because what you really want to bring into your life are those emotions, whether they look exactly like that thing, that person, that whatever it is. What you're looking for is the emotion. You're connecting to an emotion, and you want to feel a certain way. So think about the feeling that the thing or person makes you feel. Connect to that. And it's always going to be really what you're calling, what you want to call towards you. And also it bypasses a lot of the egoic games. And when instead of pining for something, connect to the emotion. connect to that emotion, and you have it, and then feel it, connect it now. And you are actually living, experiencing what you're seeking in that moment. How it shows up in the future and when, you might have a knowing about that, you might not. But just in that moment, even if it's not physically in front of you, you can still connect and feed yourself that nourishing emotional feeling. So the Page of Cups is a visionary, psychic, intuitive child. The Page of Cups allows objects, shapes, and apparitions to appear before her without passing judgment or staking claim. Okay, so what I just said, apply to that. These things appear before you. Maybe you have intuition. Maybe you're like, I know for sure I'm going to win the lottery on Tuesday. And maybe you do, or, win that car on Tuesday, whatever, got a car on Tuesday. Maybe that happens, or you just keep connecting to this emotion. Maybe the next best thing comes in, and it's a windfall of abundance in a more meaningful, direct, amazing way, crazy amazing way than you could even imagine. So you're allowing these object shapes and apparitions to appear before you, for you to think about, see, want, covet, desire, without passing judgment or staking claim. Knowing what's meant to come to you, you can pursue emotionally, physically, all these ways. But what we really want are these to experience certain emotions attached to different kinds of wealth and abundance and nourishment and trial and error and curiosity and adventure. So without saying I want exactly that, and not allowing any room for other beautiful, more luxurious, rewarding, delightful things to slide in. She allows things to be just as they are and uses astute observation to see the true nature of what passes before her. Observe without judgment, look deeper, like an artist or a mystic, into the true nature of people, places, and things. Allow clairvoyance and psychic phenomena to occur without censure. Yeah, so this may also be a great time to, again, the cards are really talking about connecting spiritually. Where did Mary Magdalene go? I don't know where that card went, but St. Joseph of Nazareth just came up. But just, yeah. So reminder this might be a time to just connect deeper spiritually. And that could help get you out of maybe like looping thoughts, worries, concerns. Wow, this weather's really distracting me. I'm going to pull an angel card and... All right. Angel card that just popped up is the Two of Water, a relationship that continues to grow closer, forgiveness, the positive resolution of a conflict. So this is... All right, so Two of Water. All right, so this could be saying don't give up on a resolution, some kind of communication issue between two people or some things. Don't give up on that. Communication will resolve. Conflict will resolve. This could also just be a reminder to be more psychic and open. Let's say you have a conflict between yourself and someone else you're talking to, you're not talking to, you're in a relationship or you're no longer in a relationship with, but the dialogue mentally is still really there. This could, again, be a time to, instead of connecting to every single stitch and word and going mad like the Mad Hatter, connecting to the emotions that come up when you think about the conflict or the conversation. And if it's deep sadness, if it's something like sadness and grieving a relationship, let those connect to those emotions. Nourishing yourself can mean a level of acceptance and just letting certain emotions live in you so they can so you can move on to the next emotion and the next and the next. Nourishing yourself doesn't necessarily mean, just feeding yourself the definitions, the societal definition of the sweet and happy instant gratification things. It can mean really tuning into what you're really feeling, as much as it might fucking suck or be uncomfortable. Shit's uncomfortable. Life's going to be uncomfortable. It's also going to be a lot of other things, but you got to feel the uncomfortable and the shitty stuff to get to the next stuff sometimes, and it can be really helpful, again, to get out of like a narrated replay of conversations that with somebody, maybe, it could be somebody who's live or it could be somebody that's past. And then also just water. It's so hot. Reminder to those in the heat wave to hydrate, and reminders to those who love water to really connect and get in water. And if that means in a bath, in a shower, in a pool, or maybe bringing a new scent to a shower, let's say, or a bath, like a new body wash, or a bath bomb, or shower bomb, or putting on after you bathe, like putting a really nourishing lotion on your skin, and finding maybe some soothing resolve within your own physical body, to then calm your mind to get to a place where either you can speak to resolve a conflict with someone, or do like something like that, connect to the emotion, or emotions that come with the conflict, the dialogue that's playing in your head, or memories in your head. But allowing your body to come to a more resting, peaceful state, being nourished by a nice, healthy amount of water, and then again, maybe like a nice, nourishing lotion. Oh, my cards are flying. Okay, so I'm going to end it there. And I don't know, I just felt like it was very important to come and make a video before my birthday and before the solstice and before the next big changes in my life, which I really can't even process. I think I've been in this in-between state for so long, this void or unknowing. And sometimes it's very highlighted and sometimes it's not. But this next big transition, I can feel it. It feels very big. And I hope that this video is supportive for those like myself who are also in a similar strange, unknowing place. And I hope that some of these images were soothing, or brought you some insights. And until next time.